They did the unthinkable. They crossed a line that no one dares to cross in the history of WWE. Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, the man whose mere presence sends shivers through locker rooms, the athlete who has decimated legends and left careers in ruins, was left lying in a pool of his own blood. And if you think this was just another routine backstage beatdown, think again. You weren't paying attention. What Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed did to Lesnar wasn't merely an attack. It was a statement, a declaration of war, a seismic event that has shifted the entire WWE landscape on its axis. And yet, perhaps the most frustrating part of this nightmare scenario is this. Triple H and WWE management stood by and let it happen. They watched as two rising stars risked everything to target the one man you absolutely do not touch in this business. And now we're expected to believe it was all part of some grand master plan? Give me a break. This wasn't strategy. This was chaos unleashed. Setting the stage, Brock Lesnar's backstage moment. Let's rewind and examine what transpired because the details of this attack will haunt the WWE Universe for months, maybe years. Brock Lesnar was backstage, minding his own business after what was supposed to be a routine controlled appearance. He wasn't scheduled to compete that night. His role was simple: to remind the WWE Universe why he's still the most feared competitor in the world, whether in professional wrestling or any combat sport. Lesnar's presence was a subtle warning, a calm before a storm, meant to show that the apex predator still rules the food chain. And then, out of nowhere, Bron Breakker struck. Bron Breakker, wrestling royalty. Unleashed. Bron Breakker is not just any WWE superstar. He is the son of Rick Steiner, a man whose name carries weight in wrestling history. Wrestling royalty courses through Breakker's veins. He possesses size, strength, agility, and that trademark Steiner aggression that has destroyed opponents for decades. But what Breakker did to Lesnar went beyond aggression. It was calculated, premeditated, and utterly fearless. The spear he launched wasn't just forceful, it was catastrophic. It could have shattered a normal human being. Brock Lesnar went down hard, and for a split second, the audience glimpsed something rare on his face. Shock. Not pain, not fear, but the disbelief that someone had the audacity, the sheer audacity, to blindside him. But Breakker wasn't done. He mounted Lesnar and unleashed hammer fists with ferocity usually reserved for MMA octagons. Each punch landed with sickening thuds, echoing through the chaos of backstage. Security tried to intervene. They tried, but Breakker was possessed, unstoppable in his mission to leave a mark on the Beast Incarnate. Bronson Reed enters the chaos. Then came Bronson Reed. At 330 pounds, this man is devastation incarnate. Since his WWE return, Reed has bulldozed his way through opponents, leaving destruction in his wake. Yet even Reed should have known that targeting Brock Lesnar was a different order of business. This wasn't a mid-card matchup. This wasn't even a main event skirmish. This was Brock Lesnar, the man who broke The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, the man who made John Cena look like an amateur, the man who flings giants around like they weigh nothing. But Reed didn't hesitate. He pulled Breakker off Lesnar. For a fleeting moment, everyone thought sanity had returned to the chaos. Perhaps Reed was here to intervene, to stop the madness. But then the darkness in his eyes became evident. He hoisted Lesnar to his feet and delivered a devastating powerbomb through a production table, splintering wood, sparks, and electronics flying in every direction. Brock Lesnar, the unstoppable force who has annihilated CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and countless others, lay motionless amid the wreckage. The statement of intent Breakker and Reed exchanged a look, unspoken but charged with meaning. They weren't done. The target on their backs was huge. They knew it. So they decided to go all in, making sure everyone watching understood this wasn't a mistake. This was a hostile takeover. Reed climbed onto a nearby equipment crate. A man of his size isn't supposed to climb anything, yet there he was, perched like a predator, looking down at the fallen beast. And then he jumped. The impact of Reed's splash on Lesnar's ribs was horrifying. Medical personnel rushed in. Adam Pearce screamed for backup. Referees scrambled to maintain control. And through it all, Bron Breakker stood tall, staring at what they had done, not with regret, but with grim satisfaction. Brock Lesnar, the same man who once fought with a broken neck and battled diverticulitis to remain active in WWE, now required assistance just to exit the arena. WWE management on the hot seat. Here's the real question: where was security? Where was the protection for one of WWE's most valuable assets? Lesnar doesn't need babysitters. He could handle himself against almost anyone. But this was an ambush, an attack executed with precision, surprise, and malice. And what will Triple H do? Suspend them? Issue fines? Please. Breakker and Reed just catapulted themselves into the main event scene. And now Brock, once he recovers, and he will be out for blood. Literal blood. The impact on Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed Bron Breakker was already being groomed as WWE's next big thing, with size, skill, and a storied lineage. But attacking Lesnar? That took him from potential to unstoppable. His stock skyrocketed overnight. Even if his professional life just got riskier, it was worth it. Bronson Reed's star, already blazing, has now become a supernova. He's trending worldwide. Casual fans, long-time lapsed viewers, everyone is watching. The attack has elevated them into the main narrative of WWE, making them names that will dominate conversations for months to come. The question of Lesnar's age now, the elephant in the room. Is Brock Lesnar showing his age? Has the accumulated punishment taken its toll? He is not in his 30s anymore. He's faced injuries, health crises, and grueling schedules. Two hungry young stars just took him down. Some may suggest this is a changing of the guard, signaling the end of Lesnar's era. They're wrong. You don't understand Brock Lesnar if you think this is the end. He thrives on adversity. He craves challenges. He'll come back more dangerous, more motivated, more relentless than ever. Building the anticipation. In the coming weeks, WWE must capitalize. Brock's recovery will be showcased to build suspense. Meanwhile, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed will run wild on the roster, claiming they have slain the Beast, declaring themselves the new apex predators. They'll cut promos, flaunt arrogance, and generate the perfect villainous heat. Just when they think they've ended Lesnar, the music will hit. Brock will walk out, a force of vengeance ready to annihilate. The crowd will explode. Every fan will understand. The war has only just begun. Multiple outcomes, all beneficial. The genius of this storyline is in its flexibility. If Lesnar returns and destroys them, he reinforces his dominance while giving Breakker and Reed credibility from working with a legend. If somehow they hold their own or even defeat him, WWE creates two overnight megastars. Either way, storytelling gold. Targeting the apex predator Breakker and Reed didn't attack anyone randomly. They chose Brock Lesnar specifically. Why? Because he's the measuring stick, the final boss, the ultimate challenge. If you can survive an encounter with him, you can survive anything in WWE. But make no mistake, Brock doesn't forgive. He doesn't forget. He doesn't stop until vengeance is served. Ask anyone who's ever crossed him. The results are always catastrophic.